Have you ever wondered what would happen if there was no oxygen on Earth for 5 seconds? A chilling thought, isn't it? But why? Why does this seemingly simple element hold such an immense significance? Well, let's delve into it. Oxygen, a colorless, odorless gas, is the third most abundant element in the universe and makes up about 21% of the Earth's atmosphere. Yet, it's not just about the numbers. Oxygen plays a crucial role in life as we know it. First and foremost, oxygen is an essential part of the air we breathe. It's involved in a process called respiration, where our bodies convert the food we eat into energy. When we inhale, oxygen enters our lungs, gets absorbed into our bloodstream, and is transported to our cells. There, it helps to break down glucose, releasing energy that powers everything we do, from thinking to moving. Without oxygen, this process grinds to a halt, and our cells start to die. Now, let's consider combustion, the process of burning. This might seem a bit far from our daily lives, but it's closer than you think. The cars we drive, the stoves we cook on, the candles we light, all rely on combustion. Oxygen reacts with fuel in a process called oxidation, releasing heat and light. Without oxygen, combustion is impossible. Imagine a world where fire doesn't exist. It's hard to comprehend, isn't it? So, we've seen how oxygen is integral to life and technology. It's not just a part of the air we breathe, but a vital cog in the machinery of life and human civilization. Now imagine if all this oxygen disappeared for just 5 seconds. It's a scary thought, isn't it? That's the power of oxygen. It's more than just an element. It's a life force, a catalyst, a sustainer. Without oxygen, life as we know it would cease to exist. So let's take a moment to appreciate this incredible element that we often take for granted. After all, every breath we take is a testament to the importance of oxygen. So what would happen if this vital element disappeared for just 5 seconds? Let's dive into the immediate consequences of such an unimaginable scenario. Firstly, the world would be plunged into darkness. This might seem odd considering we associate oxygen with breathing rather than light. But the reality is, the sun's rays reach us due to the scattering of light in the Earth's atmosphere, a process that involves oxygen. Without it, light would travel in straight lines, leaving us in the dark. Next, one might notice that our buildings, bridges, and other concrete structures start to crumble. This is because oxygen plays a significant role in holding the concrete together. The absence of oxygen would weaken the bonds that keep the concrete intact, leading to a structural collapse. And it's not just the external world that would suffer, our bodies would feel the impact too. Did you know that our inner ear helps us maintain balance and regulate pressure? Well, without oxygen, there would be a sudden drop in air pressure. This could cause the delicate structures in our inner ear to rupture, leading to intense pain and disorientation. Moreover, fires would go out as oxygen fuels combustion. Engines would stall, and planes would fall from the sky since combustion engines rely on oxygen. Even the Earth's crust, which contains a significant amount of oxygen, could crumble, causing unprecedented seismic activity. In the animal kingdom, creatures that rely on oxygen would struggle. Fish, for instance, extract oxygen from water to breathe. Without oxygen, aquatic life would suffocate, leading to a massive loss of biodiversity. And let's not forget the impact on our atmosphere. Oxygen makes up around 20% of our atmosphere. If it disappeared, the atmospheric pressure would drop drastically, causing our eardrums to pop and potentially leading to serious medical conditions. In short, a lack of oxygen, even for 5 seconds, would have catastrophic consequences. The world as we know it would change forever. Oxygen, it seems, is far more than just the air we breathe. But what would happen to us, to our bodies, during these 5 seconds? Oxygen, as we know, is not just a simple element on the periodic table. It is a life-giving force that our bodies rely on every second of every day. The role of oxygen in our bodies is complex and crucial. Every cell in our body needs oxygen to function. It's like the fuel for a car or the electricity for a light bulb. Without it, they simply can't do their job. This process, known as cellular respiration, is how our bodies produce the energy we need to live. Oxygen is used to break down the food we eat and convert it into energy. This energy then powers every movement, thought, and function of our bodies. But what if there was no oxygen, even for a mere 5 seconds? Well, the consequences could be dire. Without oxygen, our cells would start to die. Our bodies would begin to shut down. The brain, in particular, is incredibly sensitive to a lack of oxygen. Within a few seconds, we could start experiencing confusion, lightheadedness, and eventually, unconsciousness. Our hearts, too, would be hit hard. Without oxygen, they wouldn't be able to pump blood, causing the rest of our bodies to quickly run out of oxygenated blood. Our organs would start to fail, and within minutes, we could be facing a life-threatening situation. So the role of oxygen in our bodies is not to be underestimated. It's not just a gas that we breathe in and out. It's a vital part of our biology, a key player in the complex symphony of life that keeps us going. And while our bodies are incredibly resilient, they're not designed to function without oxygen. Even a brief interruption in our oxygen supply can have serious consequences. Without oxygen, our bodies would quickly start to fail. So next time you take a deep breath, remember the incredible role that oxygen plays in keeping you alive and well. What about the environment? How would it be affected by a 5-second lack of oxygen? Let's dive into that. Oxygen plays a pivotal role in our environment, acting as a life-sustaining element for much of Earth's biodiversity. Plants, for instance, require oxygen for respiration, a process that occurs day and night. This process allows them to generate energy from the sugars they produce during photosynthesis. Without oxygen, even for a brief 5 seconds, plants would face a momentary energy crisis. Now let's turn to our animal kingdom. Animals, including us humans, need oxygen to survive. We breathe it in, our bodies convert it into energy, and we exhale carbon dioxide. This oxygen-carbon dioxide exchange is a beautiful, natural process that keeps life churning. But what if oxygen was to suddenly disappear for 5 seconds? This brief interruption could potentially disrupt this cycle, causing a momentary confusion in all aerobic organisms. But the effects of a 5-second oxygen disappearance don't stop there. Oxygen is also a key player in combustion. Fires, whether natural or man-made, rely on oxygen to burn. Without it, fires would instantly extinguish. Imagine all the active wildfires around the world suddenly going out. It's a surreal thought, isn't it? Now let's go deeper, literally beneath our feet. The Earth's crust, where most oxygen in the world is stored, would also be affected. Oxygen binds with elements like silicon and aluminum to form silicates and aluminates, which make up a large portion of our crust. Without oxygen, these bonds would break, causing the Earth's crust to crumble. So you see, oxygen is more than just the air we breathe. It's a vital player in the grand scheme of life and Earth processes. A 5-second lack of it would cause a ripple effect that would touch every corner of our planet. Without oxygen, the Earth as we know it would drastically change.